Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I'm so excited to have on a 27-year-old from Cardiff, Wales. He is one of the newest members of the juggernaut Cardiff Huskies that have won the Sled Hockey League 3 years straight. Winning is fun. Winning in Cardiff is fun. But they did lose the playoffs to Sheffield, which would make you want to puke. He is over injury and ready to straight muck it up. And based off his picks, I sure wouldn't want to get into the corners with him. Welcome to the shed, Tom Williams.
Thank you very much for having me, Wally. Been listening for a long time, so it's amazing to be on.
You know what I just realized is that
Yeah?
we had messaged way back in 2022.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, and then I just reread that message, man. You broke me.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I didn't get out of that headspace. But well, I have eventually. But
Right.
yeah, that headspace led me to a real dark place. But also, it's led me to
Where you
finding
are
out
now.
about lead hockey. Exactly. Yeah, I'll be on the journey I'm on now. So it is what it is.
Jeepers, I hear you. And you know what? When you go through tough times, sometimes it can make you appreciate things a lot more when you get out of them, right?
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, there's just so many things that I would have missed out on that I'm determined to see out now, and all of these little things that I've got ticked off on, well, not ticked off yet, but on the list ready to tick off. So
That's awesome, man. And you have become a hockey player now, eh?
exactly, that's the thing. I could never skate before. I was always Bambi on ice. So it's good to
You
be able
needed
to
a
get
penguin,
on
did
the
you?
ice. Well, I knew I needed a penguin, so I never let myself down the embarrassment. But actually, funny enough, I used to, well, about 6 months before my injury, I started playing ball hockey for the Cardiff Bay Thunder, which I guess your little Franny plays for as well.
Yeah.
So that
Small
was the
world,
start
huh?
of my hockey journey. Yeah, it's crazy.
So can I ask then, so you were skating and whatnot, and
Yeah.
now you're playing sled hockey. So what went on?
So I'm gonna be honest with you, the UK is a tough place to be in right now for young people. Well, early 20s, mid 20s, when you're trying to get your career on the ladder. And when you've got mental health added into the mix, it can be a real tough place. And to be honest, that all got on top of me just trying to find my place in the world while struggling to afford to be able to be in the world. And some listeners might want to skip past this part because it's real heavy.
I
But
think I think that's what we're here for. I
yeah,
think we're here
okay.
for the truth and for real stories.
Amazing. Cool. So yeah, I'll tell my full story unadulterated then. So I was a primary school teaching assistant, funny enough. And I wasn't getting paid for some holidays. So I just started working in like a, I guess you'd call it like a mini mall or a department store, or people from Cardiff would know House of Fraser. So all these different shops in one massive shop. And either way, I was in the shoe department, just not doing what I wanted to do and earning a lot less money than I I wanted to earn. And so yeah, that led me to jumping off a bridge onto the motorway, and right there and then having to have my life saved on the A470. And yeah,
You
thankfully,
you jumped off a bridge onto the motorway?
yeah, and with great intentions, sort of thing. But luckily,
Jeepers.
yeah,
And you're
luckily I
and you
got funds.
and you're here talking to me today and you're playing hockey on a team and you're happy.
No, exactly, and it's I don't want to say it's the thing I needed because no one should need that, but it's fired the rocket right at me. And like we just said, there's all these things that I wouldn't have done and I wouldn't have been able to do that now I live to tell the tale, and now I'm determined to do those things, you know?
Yeah, man.
Like
That's awful to hear you got to that point that you did that. Um, Weird timing today that you were coming on
Okay.
today. And well, I was asked by Arlo Clark's old band to sponsor him for the
Yeah.
UK Charity All Stars. And
Okay.
it's for mental health for people under the age of 25. And
Oh, amazing.
so I just donated money to get my logo on their jerseys, and it's for
Wow.
raising money for young people in the UK.
Yeah,
Weird.
that's absolutely amazing.
That's weird timing today again. A lot of
Yeah,
weird
it's
timings gone on in the
yeah,
shed, man.
that's what I've noticed in especially like post timing things. So I'll tell you an absolutely crazy story, and I'm sure you'll be as mind blown by this as I was. Um, so funny enough, I don't actually remember the jump or the couple of days leading up to it or anything. And but either way, when I was in hospital, so I sorry, I get sidetracked a lot because I struggle with ADHD, so my
That's
mind is all
so.
over the place.
Same with these.
With too many thoughts at once. But yeah, either way, so I was in hospital for 9 months, and about 4 or 5 months into it, I had a bit of an infection that I needed to get taken from one hospital to the other, just so they could have a look at the infection, just see what's going on. And either way, so I had to be taken in an ambulance between hospitals, and the people who came to take me in the ambulance, they were just chatting away, what's your name? How old are you? Why are you here? Sort of thing. And they gave me this look like, wait. And they were the people who found me on the road.
The same drivers.
Yeah, the very same people who saved my life that night. And they were saying literally, if they hadn't have found me, I was a goner. But so those people, they say they never ever, they see people take them to hospital and never see them again. And this is the one time they've seen someone again.
And they
And
were the
that's the
ones that
thing.
saved your life.
Yeah, literally saved my life. And I had no memory of it at all. Well, still have no memory of it at all. But I didn't know what had gone on at all at that time. So we had a really like in-depth and pretty horrible conversation. But at least, yeah, I got to learn more about my what my injuries are and things and what happened. But yeah, isn't that the craziest story?
That is. Um, wow. So then what were they saved your life. So
Yeah.
you're in the hospital for 9 months. So what did you have to recover from? What were the injuries?
So the main injury is I completely fractured my spine and severed my spinal cord around my belly button. T10 for any doctors or spinal surgeons will know what that means, like the area of the spine. Yeah, so around my belly button, I've got no feeling or movement below, and then I fractured my pelvis, so I crumbled it into dust, which I'll lead on to a bit later because that's the main pain I've been getting. Uh, Fractured my jaw in two places, completely sliced, which was crazy seeing the X-ray.
You know what
And I
makes me
also,
feel really terrible right
yeah,
now is that I'm standing here thinking my knee hurts, and you're telling me this, and I'm like, well, um, my knee doesn't hurt that bad.
no, it's not that bad. But to be fair, the crazy thing about it is, apart from my hip, I don't get any pain at all. So even with my spine in as much disarray as it was, and I guess still is, I've got a big metal block on my back that you can feel when you touch it. But so the thing my hip with was that I fractured it, so I had to have some screws in my hip, and the bone healed over the screw,
So I got
and so
stuck
the
in there.
yeah, and so the yeah, so the only pain I've been getting with all this, even my jaw and stuff,
Is the
is
screw.
screw, and I've just had that taken out just over a month ago. So yeah, I'm getting back to fitness now for hockey after that surgery.
Jesus, how the fuck do you play sled hockey with all that?
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot. So in the grand scheme of things, I know this is going to sound crazy. In the grand scheme of things, my injury is pretty minor compared to a lot of our players. So a lot of our players are army veterans who are either amputees or have had damage to parts of their body and things. And in yeah, in a way, I'm one of the most yeah.
Yeah,
This
you have the mo okay. I guess use of your body, I guess is a way of putting it.
Yeah, we always joke that the amputees are actually cheating because there's less of them, so they're faster on the ice. But that's a little morbid joke we have amongst us.
You gotta have fun, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you must, I know you haven't got to play a lot because of recovering, but
Yeah.
it's fun being on a team, isn't it?
No, and that's the thing. Even though we've all come from these completely different backgrounds, like I am not from an army background at all, so I am got the strength on these guys, all the story of these guys, and girls as well, to be fair. But we're still bonded as a team, and we still all love each other and go to battle for each other. Even if I'm sat behind the bench, I'm still on the team sort of thing, and yeah,
You're still
we're
there
all
with them and doing it. Yeah,
yeah, we all go through walls for each other.
that's what the game's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, love it.
Um, Jeepers. So then, when did you find out about the shed?
So, funnily enough, this completely different this incident. I've been a Devils fan for well, even through my childhood, I go to the odd game and things. But in 15-16 season, I think when I first went to university, I had a lot of time on my hands. I thought I'm gonna find out more about what goes on down the Devils because I've always had a good fun time down there.
Yeah.
So yeah, decided I'd go all in on hockey in my first year of university and never look back. And
So
obviously then
that was my last season of playing. So that was your
yeah,
right. If you were wondering what was going on around the Devils, man, there was a lot of weird pregame speeches that year.
yeah, no, I've heard. And yeah, that's the thing. That's how I got in the shed is I remembered your name from the Devils and so oh Ben Walton's got a podcast. Obviously, I saw you down at the well Wally night with the spray paint, Joey Martin and everything. So don't worry, I've still been in on all that.
Yeah, so maybe you didn't probably see me play, but I guess you were there for Wally night.
Doing
That
all
was
the antics.
that was something, eh?
No, it was such good fun.
It was fun, and it was an interesting day for me because I mean, when I got out of the game, moved to a new town, don't have a team, don't have a support
Yeah,
system of my like I was used to having a team my whole life, and everywhere I went, I always had
yeah, and
my
then it was
built-in best friends for the season, and then I'd get to go to my hometown and visit all of my brothers there,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden I didn't have any of that, and it was
yeah, no,
difficult for me. But then I was living business Brent guy. And then for some reason, Cardiff invites me back of all the
and well,
players that have played there, which is still doesn't make sense to me. But when they did have me back, and I remembered the hockey guy and who Wally was, and I really missed that guy.
yeah,
And I guess I really let my hair down. And then that was what the day, right? The song "I'm Not for Everyone." It's like, well, maybe I am a lot, but I know my teammates like it, and I'm
yeah,
gonna be
you know
myself
your
from
own
now on,
score.
right?
No, exactly, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah,
Being yourself and surrounding yourself with people who love you for you.
right. And man, and then all of a sudden you have a shed family and you're like, man, I
Yeah,
am way happier than I used to be. And then you appreciate
exactly. I'm so
everything
glad.
way more, right?
Yeah, the world seems a lot brighter, and I'm
Yeah.
so glad for that.
I'm happy for you, man. This is a wild story in the shed today, man. The heart's just not ticking
Yeah.
right today.
Well, that's all good. It's been a long old story, so yeah, I can tell you the whole thing if you like, from
Give her, man.
accident to now. So yeah, so obviously that wasn't fun with on the bridge and everything, but I was I was in a coma for a month, and every now and then I still have little things pop into my head that I don't know if they're dreams or uh, stuff that I sort of realized was going on. And so at the moment, obviously I'm never going to fully recover, but I'm on basically the last end of the fixing up I need to do sort of thing. And so that's mainly my teeth because obviously pretty heavy impact with the ground. I smashed up all my teeth. And and I remember having this dream of having my teeth replaced and being furious about it. I really didn't want my teeth sorted out. And apparently that genuinely happened. And I just got this memory of black stuff on my teeth and being being annoyed that my family wouldn't like my new teeth. And but yeah, apparently I had to do some like emergency oral surgery that I'm now getting properly fixed and all sorted. So I might get some new pearly whites. We'll see.
Hey, everybody can use those, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Um, so you're in a coma for a month. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not something I can picture, but what was it like then when you came out of it? Like, did you realize
That
it was a month later?
no. Uh, um. So that's the photo I sent in. Um. Of me in the hospital bed doing a thumbs up. That's the first photo I took. That's probably a little while after I came out of my coma. 'Cause- so my girlfriend at the time, who was absolutely amazing, was there from day one. She called that my evil Tom era. So I'm not quite sure how far that stretches back, but yeah, apparently I was just out of it for a long time. But one of the first few things I can remember is I had a lamp on the end of my bed, and they gave me this tube to like keep my hands busy. I was trying to play hoopla on this lamp. So that was probably one of the really early things coming out of a coma. Um, and actually, a fun thing that probably a little bit of explanation. I'm a fluent Welsh speaker, and when I came out of my coma, they gave me a word board almost,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so I could say things. And apparently, I was only speaking in Welsh, and I don't know if that was just a bit I was trying to do, or if my brain was only in Welsh mode.
Right.
But
Not many people speak that Welsh. Like I was lived there for
no,
2 years and I hardly heard anything. But man, when you look at it on the street signs, that's quite the language. There's
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
a lot of letters going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's definitely a minority language. So I went all the way through Welsh school just because the comprehensive school in my area at that time had a really, really bad rep. So my parents were like, no, he's not going there. So I got sent to Welsh language primary school. And so for to put it into perspective, I couldn't tell you exactly how many secondary schools there are in Cardiff, but I'm gonna say about 100. There were two Welsh secondary schools in Cardiff,
And so
and that's
that's
three
how you,
more.
and so then you're fluent in Welsh and then that's all your brain was speaking when you came out of the coma.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh. Um, so obviously mentally you got to where you got to that you jumped. And then you're that injured and in that much pain and dealing with all that. So when you're already at that point mentally that you were willing to do that, and then it must have seemed like a mountain to climb to get out of all
yeah.
the medical stuff.
That's the thing. Thankfully, I was in what I call a rehab unit for 6 months. So I was really, really ill, obviously after my jump sort of thing. And then I got within about 3 months, I'd got to the place where I could move over with this rehab unit, and they'd keep us busy with physio and everything, and just getting us ready for life outside, on the outside sort of thing again.
Yeah.
And so I got so much information about chronic pain and what all the little battles are going to be and sort of breaking them down. So I think that made me so much tougher. being in that rehab unit and yeah, learning about all the little battles that are going to be and how I deal with them and how how to navigate everyday life and things. So yeah,
Right.
that really broke down some boundaries for me anyway. If it was straight home, yeah, I would have struggled.
So then when you do get out of the hospital, I mean, you would have it like Rich Bateman, the guy I helped in Sheffield after his
Yeah.
stroke. They had to get like a ramp and whatnot to get him in the
Mm.
house, and that's what I tried to raise money. And same with my boy Dave in that did the bike ride for me. But you would have had to have the setup at home when you got out of there, and life
Yeah,
with life, getting around, getting to the arena, getting going to the bathroom, everything must be
yeah,
it, right? Like,
yeah, completely different. And funny enough, I've got my own fundraiser going at the moment, actually, that I'll send you the link over to.
please do.
Um, because when I was in that rehab unit, I got given a demonstration of so it's a manual wheelchair for all purposes that I like push around, but it's got a switch that I can flick up. They'll put me into a standing position,
Okay,
and it just makes everything so much easier. Because even just
you're
things
upright,
like cooking and yeah, there's just a whole opens up the standing world again almost.
right?
But
That's
the
awesome.
problem is, yeah, it's incredible. Problem is, it costs 8 grand though. So
So you got to make 8 grand.
yeah, and funny enough, I'm big, involved in a big way in my local hardcore and punk community, and we've just put on a gig actually to fundraise for that,
It already
and that was
happened.
really good. Yeah, fun. It was this last Friday, just gone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really
People
good.
helping people. It's a powerful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the thing. We've got this really good photo of well, we decided to take a photo about an hour after the show had ended, so we probably should have taken it earlier so we could have more people in. But either
Yeah.
way, a big group anyway. And yeah, so I'll send that over to you because yeah, just a
Well,
pic. Like
well, Shed family, if anybody's listening to us today and what's going on, time to get to work, and I will post that. And you know
thank you
what?
so much.
Um, I got to figure out how to do raffles again, or somebody can raffle it for me. But I do have
That's all
jerseys
good.
made, and we can either
Amazing.
sell it to the highest bidder or figure out who can raffle it for us.
Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
No worries. I'm just having fun.
Yeah,
I do have to figure out how to make 1 grand back for buying those jerseys, though,
yeah, that's the thing, and the recouping
Yeah,
because
I'm gonna help people, but I gotta recoup my money too.
yeah, exactly.
Unless somebody starts paying me in the shed already, right, folks? Get involved.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You work so hard, you deserve to get paid for it.
Well, this isn't work, man. This is fun and hearing people's stories, and then to hear you're out, kind of not out, you'll never be out the other side of the injuries, but mentally you seem to be out the other side and happier.
Yeah, 100%. And I've there was one photo I sent in. So this is going somewhere, but I deliberately sent in a photo, and I want you to guess or see if you can guess which arena it's in. It's
Um,
arena.
I gotta look at the pictures you sent me. I haven't sent them to the poster maker guy yet. I've been too busy,
Oh, good.
you know? 1 second, I'm pulling them up right now. Okay, which picture?
It's one of a clearly very young me in front of a rink,
The
and it's
one
an
with
arena.
like inside the barn where you see the huge stands, the red
Yeah,
seats.
yeah. I'm determined to get back to that arena.
Um, well, where, let me see. How can I figure out where that is? Berg. I don't know. What
I'll give
arena?
you a clue.
Okay.
You had the kit guy on a few weeks ago.
Frolunda.
Yeah, one of my absolute favorite places in the world. So
Oh
you
man,
can
the pictures he sent for that, for his poster pics of that arena, I couldn't believe it.
incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, and he's an absolute beauty. What a kit guy.
Yeah, no, he sounded like an amazing guy.
And he's a free agent at the end of the season, folks. We already
There
got
you go.
one deal in motion, but if anybody else wants my free agent kick guy, that's a Shed Guy beauty. Just contact Shed Quarters directly, and we'll make a deal.
There you go. Come
We'll
get
at
him.
least get you in the mix, you know.
Yeah.
So you went there when?
Uh, Twice. Cause like, yeah, that's the thing. It's really, really cheap to fly from London to Gothenburg. In fact, it's more expensive to get from Cardiff to London. But yeah, I went out in 2017 with a friend just 'cause it was a cheap holiday, and we went to see the Indians just because we both like hockey,
Yeah,
and I fell in love with it that much that I decided to go back on my own to see if I could see myself living in Gothenburg.
really.
Yeah, and I could, but COVID happened. So,
Wow.
and then my injury happened. But one day,
Um, yeah, yeah. You must have really liked it then.
yes, absolutely amazing city. So easy to get around and amazing hockey. So,
Well, Andy, if you're listening, I haven't heard that you've sent me my jersey yet from Furlunda, but he promised me a jersey for the Shed, and
amazing.
nothing's come to the front door yet, Andy. So how did you get into sled hockey then?
Yeah, so um so it would have been when the second pad was still at the Devils, but I can vividly remember walking out from the Devils game one evening and seeing them train on the second pad.
Yeah,
And when I was still in the first hospital, all the nurses come round and ask you, what do you want from your second life almost? What's the thing that's really, really important to you? And I remembered seeing them on the second pad, and I just wanted to play
yeah,
hockey and
makes
play live
sense.
games again. So
Yeah, then you're on a team again, and you get to joke around with the
yeah,
guys.
exactly.
Um, Actually, it brings back memories from my time in Cardiff. Was I remember at the Big Blue Tent that after some of our games,
Yeah,
they would come out and play while we were having our pints in the Big Blue Tent. That
nice.
was my night out, because I had kids. So my night out was the Big Blue Tent, and then I'd have to go home. So, anyways, but there was a guy that was always in the lobby after every
Okay.
game. He's been there when I went back for Wally night and the testimonials.
Yeah.
He's still around in his wheelchair. And me and him always chatted about sled hockey and all of that. I'm trying to remember his
Okay.
name, but man, I know the face.
Yeah, because there's a few of them that are still playing from the Big Blue Ten days.
I don't think
Paul
he was
Furber.
playing though. He was
No.
already done, but he had used to play.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, they always say a Big Blue Tent was fun. The building was what it was, but it was so fun down there. And
It was
I
fun.
remember the seats clacking. It was so noisy.
It was. I remember sitting in the locker room before games, and you could hear like the fans like stomping on the ground,
Yeah, on
and
the
it was like the
wooden
whole thing
floors.
was shaking, and it was like, whoa, I'm ready to play hockey tonight.
No, no, exactly there. That's the thing. Because I feel like that's probably what got me in love with hockey to start off with anyway. What kept it in my mind was going, I didn't go that often back in those days, but I can vividly remember still now stomping on the wooden floors, slamming the seats down, and
Yeah, yeah. Um,
amazing.
and I always say like winning changes towns, changes like the hockey environment in that town. I remember going to Cardiff the start of that season, and they had finished ninth the year before. We show up for the first game. There's like the fans had whatever like striked or boycotted the year before, and there weren't that many fans at the start of the season. And then we started winning, and
Yeah,
man, the second half of that season, the Big Blue Tent was electric, and I'm sure the kids and the people that went to those games, it stuck with them.
yeah, definitely. Well, my neighbor across the road has been a Devil season ticket holder for 25, 30 years now, and he always tells me how good we've got it now. And yeah, there was a few years there where it was rough, but yeah,
And
we
now
got our hockey back.
they're a perennial contender every year, and you see the guys they're signing, and you're like, wow, your guys are really doing it.
This year has been so exciting. Seeing the CVs that are coming in from guys straight from the DL and everything is so exciting.
Yeah, it is because having a chance to win is exciting, and that's what's fun for my season with my
Definitely.
under 13 boys is I have a chance to win again because I have everything I need, and I
Exactly.
got the horses, I got the players, bring the noise,
Amazing.
Ontario.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, my hockey team sure had fun last weekend when we
Good.
won our tournament. We were all shaving our heads and
Amazing.
stuff. Oh God, it was
Good
fun.
stuff.
So how was it getting in a sled for the first time and trying sled hockey?
So it was, I I was like, this is my place. But getting into the sled was difficult. And luckily, I've got a portable hoist that I can get in and out of my sled. But I remember getting in the sled the first time, like, is it gonna? Cause I had to get lifted from my chair to the sled, and remember getting in and out of the sled, being like, is it gonna be this tricky every time? But yeah, as soon as I got on the ice, I was like, however we can make it work, I need to do this as often as I can because like this is my place.
That's awesome.
And
That's great to hear, man.
thank you. And this this is gonna seem like I'm getting too much into the hockey mentality when I shouldn't be. But so obviously I've had a lot of like therapy and things. And in one of the sessions we had to design our own happy place in our minds. And so the idea was close your eyes and think of the happiest place you can think of. And I genuinely, instantly went to being on my sled on the ice. And that's, yeah, when things are tough now, and close my eyes and have a little skate round.
That's incredible, dude. Everybody needs their happy place.
Definitely.
I've found mine with my shed and coaching.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
those are my happy places.
Yeah.
I think I spent about 7 hours at the arena yesterday watching all the kids I used to coach. It's ridiculous how many teams the kids I've coached. I've coached now 3 years. I bet you
Yeah.
they're on like 7 or 8 different teams in town now, and I got to go watch all of them.
No, exactly. It was the same when I was teaching in primary schools. I always think about what those kids are doing now and how
Yeah,
they're doing, and some
yeah.
have moved on to high school. So,
And that's what's fun about living in a small town is I get to see all of them all the time.
oh, good.
Yeah,
Never,
it's weird when you
never
start
too far
caring about
away.
all the kids. Conditioning was always a factor for me. I
Yeah,
always was huffing and puffing out there, giving her my all. Um, how is it getting around with the sticks? With like they're like a
yeah,
stake
like
almost.
skis almost.
Skis, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you got to use your arms to get around the whole ice, man. I was using my legs and having a hard time.
yeah. That's the thing, because there's a few who help out with our training sessions who play stand-up hockey, and they always say, I'm struggling just using my legs. I can't imagine how hard it is. But to be honest, I feel like because we build up so much stamina using the wheelchairs all day, every day anyway, it's I I feel like once I got used to it, it was all right. It's hard work, but yeah, being in my chair all day, every day has helped a lot with
Yeah.
my upper body strength and getting about.
So you're actually doing manual. You're not using the electric all the time where you're not getting any exercise.
I wish I could, but yeah, no, I'm manual. And to be fair, it is a bit of a rush just whizzing around when you can. So
Right.
on a good
Um,
slope.
well, this is bringing back memories that I've definitely never talked about this in the shed ever before.
Okay.
Growing up, my next door neighbor, she was like my best friend growing up.
Yeah.
She moved away when we were like young teenagers, I believe, like 12, 13. But growing up until then, she was in a wheelchair
Okay.
and she had an extra wheelchair and
Yeah.
she loved basketball. and we played basketball like every day. And then I would get in her other wheelchair and play wheelchair basketball with her. And
Amazing.
she ended up making Team Canada.
Really?
Yeah, she was like a star in wheelchair basketball, and
Oh, no
we
way.
grew up together. And then to see her go and do that as an adult was pretty neat
Amazing.
because, you know, you got to practice against the best. And
No,
I
exactly.
was a very average wheelchair basketball player. She used to kick the shit out of me, man.
That's yeah. It's amazing to see what people get up to though, and
Yeah.
people you were really close with when you were little, and then
Well, it's like all the people behind me, all these shed people that have gone out and done cool things in the hockey world or in life in general. And it's like, wow, I can't believe I know all you people.
no, exactly. Amazing.
The other one I just speaking of the mental health and all that was was this weekend I got a really nice message, kind of like what you gave me. Guy tried to drop me, punched me right in the heart from across the world. Um, and he told me he was struggling mentally and had some stuff going on. And I wrote back and we had our little messages back and forth. And then I carried on with my day and then dropped the kids off at plaything. And then I was driving home and I was like, why don't I just pull over and call the guy? Like, why not call him and talk to him instead of just message
Okay.
with him? So then I pulled over the side of the road and just hit video call on Insta and he answered and we ended up chatting for 20 or 30 minutes and we had a laugh and talked about stuff. And I thought it was interesting that he couldn't believe I would call him. And I was like, dude, I'm just a normal dude that talks in my shed. And if you want to talk, I'm right here.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That's the thing, isn't it? And yeah, even just a chat sometimes can really lift someone's day,
really
especially
can.
if they're
Doing
really
this
struggling.
lives my day, man. You know?
Good. And that's the thing as well. That yeah, you say you're just a guy in your shed, but you're talking to some of our heroes, man, and that means a lot to us. And especially yeah, when I was struggling in 2022, listening to you chat to some of my Devils heroes really lifted my day.
Right. And that's what's weird for us because we're just guys that came over and
Chatting.
played hockey. And when we think or like those guys are your heroes, it's like, well, we're just hockey players, you know?
No, I get you.
Um, so when it comes to picking out a sled and your what are they called? Your sticks, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So you get a righty and a lefty stick. Use one in each
yeah,
hand.
exactly. Yeah,
So when you guys are picking out your sticks and your sled, is it like kids picking out hockey sticks around here? Like that everybody's got a different one, or how does it work?
um, that's the thing because of yeah, because the way it's all funded and things, we're all renting at the moment. So I haven't had the fun of picking out my sled or sticks yet. But if I get the chance to, yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna be, and I'm gonna
Be
try
pretty
every
sweet to
single
have
stick
your
I
own
can.
sled that you like deck out, right? It'd almost be like your Crocs where you could put in different gibbets. You could make your
No,
sled your own,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly. I'll stick it all over it and do it out like I wanted. And yeah, no, I,
Deck it right out. You'd look
yeah, I'm
super
just
fast then,
imagining it now.
right?
Exactly, go fast and stripes everywhere. I can only imagine a day where I'm just trying sleds out all day. That'll be a perfect day.
Yeah,
Just
and
sitting
that's
on
why
them.
I have a lightning bolt in my croc in my gibbet because then everybody thinks I'm really
Pace,
fast.
bit of pace. The same with guitars. Put do a special pick and then go fast the pick.
So how has it gone? Like in hockey, people just I think continue to get better the more they play until you get
Yeah,
old and can't do it as well as you used to. But um, like how's it been? How's your are you getting better every time you play?
yeah. I feel like I'm getting so much better every time, and that's the thing. I've had a couple of months off now, so probably be a bit rusty to start off with. But yeah, honestly, I've noticed a massive improvement from the start. And the main thing I'm struggling with, and we'll see how it goes when I come back, is tipping over and getting back up.
Right.
And it's yeah. because you can
Because you
have
guys
sort of,
straight muck it up out there. I've seen sled hockey. You
yeah,
guys use your sticks.
yeah, a lot of mucking up, and it's still love to hit. So
Right. Hitting people is fun, right? Getting hits not as fun.
it's not so much, but then you've got to hit someone to make up for it. But yeah, so you
What
can
are the
have
rules with hitting though?
um
Are you allowed to go
um
straight in sideways and like body check a guy? Try and tip
um
him over?
technically not. So there's a rule called T-boning where yeah, you T-bone a guy, and yeah,
Can't, that's not
that's
right.
nothing.
No.
Yeah, but shoulder on shoulder, all good.
Okay. So side by side you can
Yeah, and
rubbing
again
racing.
with no yeah, because it's the same with standing hockey with the the word is yeah. I'm losing the word at the moment, but when you deliberately skate into a hit, basically.
Right. Yeah. Like charging a guy.
Yeah, charging, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. So yeah,
Right.
if we power ourselves up into a hit, that's a no go as well, obviously.
So the goalies in sled hockey, I'm just picturing this. Would
Yeah.
they sit sideways so they're taking up more of the net, or are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
make
So
more
they sit
sense, right?
sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got picks on the bottom of their stick as well, just to make it easier to leave yourself. But
Okay.
because I'm my main role is bum in front of the goalie guy. So
Yeah. The
yeah,
Matthew
I tell the
Myers.
goalie come on. Yeah, exactly. That's yeah, my role model. I want to be a Gleason Fournier, but at the
Right. Don't
moment
we
I'm
all?
a
Don't
stay-at-home
we
kid
all?
now. Exactly. We even non-hockey people wish they were Gleason Fournier.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just don't know it.
I hear you. Yeah. Some people have it all.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Because I haven't looked at my notes like today at all.
Hmm.
Actually,
Um.
I have one.
Okay.
Is there any way that your team has an extra jersey they could send to the shed? Because I would love a Cardiff Huskies jersey.
Yeah, we could definitely make that happen. I'll talk to the coaches, but we would absolutely love
It'd be pretty
to
cool
get
to
you that
hang it
one.
up back there with like Row's jersey and my Devils jersey, right?
Oh yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. And yeah, so yeah, that was a question I thought of. Um, how is the obviously GB Hockey League hasn't got much of a thing over in Canada, but I guess when it comes to like world championships and stuff, how do you guys see GB?
Me or everybody else?
Everybody else, I guess, because obviously you've got the connection.
They they don't they don't realize what Team GB has done. They don't realize what they've done with the pool of players they have. Um, they have no idea how special it is that it's a Disney movie. They really
Well,
just focus on like, Canada and them and those teams that are fighting for relegation don't really they don't really care about them like I do. I have Team GB
yeah,
swag. All my friends are on the team. They were my
amazing.
teammates. They're shed guys.
Yeah,
And it's like, and like I've even
you've
mucked it
got
up on
some.
Chippy Lane with their coach.
Oh, that was my question. I've always wanted you to ask you this. Right, you've got a fiver on Chippy Lane. What are you getting?
a, a kebab, like you know, the donor or whatever it is.
Have you got a specific place you go to, or just
I
any
believe
kebab?
it's Dorothy's, but sometimes when the lineup would be too long, I go to one of the other places just to test myself, knowing it's not as good, but I didn't want to wait in line because, you know,
Yeah, there's Dorothy's or Tony's guys, and you can tell a lot about a person if they're a Dorothy's or a Tony's guy.
you think it tells a lot about a guy? Because I just want to go there and muck it up. I actually don't care.
Yeah, that's the thing. I guess, yeah, God lived
I'm
in
not really
Cardiff
there
quite a
for the
lot.
food.
No, it's
I'm
just
I'm
to
there
be
for the
there.
experience and to people
That's a
watch
good answer.
and just have a big smile on my face watching people have fun. And
Yeah.
there's some people at Chippy Lane that aren't having fun because they've shat themselves or something, right?
There's probably a lot of people have shot themselves at the same time, and you're distracted by one because you're watching the other. Magical place.
It is a magical place. I was just telling someone at work today about it, and I was like, the research team hasn't got hot. I'm doing a chat on lunch, and I'm like, I got nothing written down. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna ask about Chippy Lane because he's from Cardiff. And they're like, well, what's that? And I'm like, the most magical place on earth.
Literally is. And that's the thing. I feel,
I love explaining it to people what it is.
yeah, and there's all these little intricacies and little politics between the places on Chippy Lane and the way, like, so you ask people's choices and you're like, sure about that? And,
I tell you one thing, last time I was there, I was picturing having to work there. It doesn't look like a good job.
oh, I genuinely couldn't imagine anything worse.
No,
Maybe one of
it's
the
hot in there.
ones
The
on the
food's all
bottom.
cooking. There's a lot of smells. Then all these drunk people come in that have shat themselves. What a place.
Amazing. They're actually genuinely they're so obviously Chippy Lane in the day isn't probably somewhere you really want to go for food, I feel. You've got
Well,
all these different places in
got
town.
to be in the right
But
mindset, that's for sure.
yeah, you gotta get your head in the game.
You do.
But there's a really nice little Indian street food place that's just opened right down the bottom. And I genuinely will go in for a samosa or whatever.
Midday.
Yeah.
Mm.
If I'm walking down
I
that way
can't.
anyway.
I don't dabble in the Indian food.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes me smell bad. Gives
And
me
it does
body
bad
odor.
things too as well.
I
It
don't know.
smells coming from everywhere.
Yeah. Jeepers, I could talk about Chippy Lane forever though, but for people that aren't from Cardiff that have never got the experience, there's basically like two main roads, right? And then between them, there's little alleys or lanes. And this one is just all late night food, or it's open during the day if you want to muck it up. But come this time the sun goes down till 4 a.m., it is one of the wildest places on earth.
Yeah, genuinely, there's all these different spots in Cardiff city centre that should be what Chippy Lane is, but
Well,
for whatever reason,
oh, it's the place to be, man. You get bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. You get people coming out of concerts or sporting events, and everybody goes there with a great attitude, ready to play.
that's the thing coming back to live music and stuff. That I'm yeah, being involved in live music, and anytime there's a touring band over, I've got to get them down Chippy Lane. See
Um,
what I think.
when what? Not to bring this back up, but when was the jump?
July 2022. It's either the 11th or the 12th. I can't remember exactly which
Okay,
one. Yeah,
I was
July
just curious. I was trying
2022.
to do like when it happened because yeah, you were saying you were at
That's all
Wally
good.
night, and then I was trying to figure out when I came back the next time, which would have been Matthew
Yeah.
Myers.
Yeah, it can't have been that long before, can
Right. I don't know.
it?
I think I came in May of 2022 ish.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Um, Anywho, spray painted myself that time too as Matthew. Got in a fight with Franny.
Yeah, I missed that one. I can't remember why I missed it,
Mm.
but I shouldn't have missed it.
Yeah, Franny and I had to plan the first shift of the game. I was spray painted as Matthew with the devil on my chest again, and then the fight actually happened quite organically, and people thought we were serious, and there were kids crying in the crowd because they
Oh
couldn't
no.
believe why Franny would beat up Wally.
What have my favorites done?
And
Betrayed me.
and then Franny couldn't get my shoulder pads off, and he was just reefing on me, and it wouldn't come off. And then the kids are crying, and then it finally came off, and everybody saw the spray paint, and then everybody hopefully understood that we were just having fun.
Oh yeah, all good. Sorry,
We
all
were
good.
just playing hockey. So the Cardiff Huskies, eh? So you guys must have some players
Yeah,
if they've won the regular season 3 years in a row.
yeah, we've got some real players on our team,
Who's the
and
best? Shout them out. Make everybody
so
else jealous on the team and hate you.
I'm gonna say Tyler Christopher is a magical player.
Yeah,
Can can score from anywhere and ride a hit like I've never seen.
right.
Um, Paul Ferber just keeps the game going. Doesn't not non-assuming keeps the game going, and he'll pop up right as
Right at the right
the
time.
puck comes in.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I meant to say. Right at the right time. And I'm gonna shout out a guy who's actually out injured at the moment, but Nathan Stevens, incredible. Just
Well, that's cool.
such a good player.
Be interesting to get to see you guys play someday.
Yeah, 100%.
So you mentioned some of the Devils being your heroes. Who
Yeah,
are your favorite Devils all time?
all time. So I'm I'm gonna
If
have
you
to.
don't say Joey Martin, I'm gonna come over there and karate chop you.
Yeah, Joey Martin, number one, 100%. You
Thank
wouldn't
you.
believe how happy I was when he came back. And speaking of coming back, obviously Gleason Fournier.
The Swan.
Um, One of the players who really stood out to me early on, Hotham, I'm gonna say.
Yes. Gamer.
And yeah,
Scores,
incredible guy.
fights, pisses people off.
Such a good player. I'm gonna say Mac, just for his personality.
hmm
God,
Yep.
I didn't know much about him coming when he first came, but my God, the way he got in players' faces. Anyone who come in the crease, Mark one happy about it, and
We're,
just love it. And
uh,
obviously he's a wicked keeper as well. So
and isn't it fun when people throw Twix on the ice for him?
obviously, always we what was the number? It was like
5.
1,037. Hmm?
I need
1,000.
1,005 Twix when he's back to
1,005.
beat the record in to beat the record in Denmark.
I was gonna say, yeah, we need to do that this season.
We do need to do that. Why wouldn't we do that? It's fun, right? Beating people is fun at anything.
Exactly. And that's only a third of our rink. So
And I had
why not
asked for
3,000?
it the home opener, and then the punk goes out and gets hurt because the guy slew foots him. But anyways,
Yeah,
the guy did mean to do it. He meant to slew foot him. I saw the video.
yeah, not happy
He
about
dragged
that.
the leg. But
If
anywho,
Hoff was on the ice, he'd
when
have
he's
got it.
back, we got to do this thing, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Got to
Straight
do
back.
it.
Oh, sorry, I have a care call at the moment. I'll just tell him I'll be
I'll
five
pause it.
minutes. That's okay.
Pause it. We're back, and we only got 10 minutes. We're gonna have to speed talk.
Yeah,
Shit to
usually
do,
we're
right?
here at 6. Yeah, yeah.
Shit to do. So what were we talking about?
Um, Mac getting slew-footed, and
Right.
as soon as
And
he
then we're
comes back,
gonna get the thousand and
plugging
five
the ice.
Twix when he comes back, and the first game he
Exactly.
wins, we're gonna cover the ice. We're gonna bury him in Twix. It's gonna be a Twix NATO, right?
2,000. We need at least 2,000, I reckon.
That's kind of what I say to my under 13 kids. It's like I don't want to go out there and just beat them. I want to go out there and
Oh,
smash them.
smash
Like
him.
smash them.
Exactly.
I
Got
was
3,000 in the rink, so
I I told my team, I'm like, so I want you guys to love hockey at the end of this game. I want you to go out there and smash them. And I want their team to hate hockey and never want to play you
exactly.
ever again.
Never want to come back.
2,000 Twix would do that. Herring would be scared of us,
Exactly.
right? be,
Never plays again.
be pretty cool if it happened though, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you've only played in one game so far?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I've been was struggling with the screw in my hip
Right.
for a long, long time. Played played my game, and then I had the surgery to get the screw removed the next week, and that was the last game of the season.
Right.
So, but at
Uh,
least I'm all ready to go for next April. So
right. And you got the screw, which must feel much better.
yeah, that's the thing. I'm in a really good place at the moment. Problem is, we're not playing. Well, we're training, so I'm coming back to training after surgery, hopefully in the next few weeks. But yeah, we're not playing till April, so gotta
Right.
get ready for them.
You don't play till April?
Yeah,
You
so
don't play in the
we
winter?
no, it's probably because of the Devils and now the Canucks season as well.
And because they got
But
rid of their other pad. It's like around here, we don't have enough pads. We don't have enough ice time.
yeah,
They have no solution, nothing being built. And now they're
no,
telling all these teams they got to share practices. I'm under 13 rep and we're sharing practices, and there's no plan to get another pad. And Cardiff,
no,
hockey's only growing. You might want to think about getting more ice.
exactly. And even across South Wales, there's no other rinks even. So
Right. And if we're going to keep growing this game, people in Kincardine and
yeah,
Cardiff, we got to get more pads for us to play on,
yeah, we
right?
need more rinks.
hmm
And yeah, I had a big chat about some of my coaches the other day because yeah, obviously the Canucks have just started up as well, and there's going to be only more rec hockey teams because the sport's growing, like you just said. So
Mhm.
yeah, we're all battling for ice time.
Yeah, I understand. And speaking of the Cardiff Canucks, I never did get to see what the final score was, but they had their home opener sold out, and every jersey had my logo on it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Isn't
So
that
cool.
wild?
I'll double check what the score was
That
now, actually.
that
So,
is brothers for
oh,
life though. When Hendo was my guy our rookie year in Dayton, Ohio, then we meet up again in Cardiff, Wales and get to win. And then we've been best buddies the whole time and we just never really get to see each other. And then for
no,
him to think to do that for me and not even charge me any money,
amazing.
just does it for friendship. And it's like, whoa, man, you really punched me in the heart from over there.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say then as well, hell of a player when he was playing for the Devils as well. That's another one that always
Fighting,
sticks with me.
hitting, man. With that
Yeah.
first season, 2014-15, the guy was like a rock star of Cardiff.
Well, I'll never forget the season he left Cardiff, went to Glasgow, and within 20 seconds of his first game back, he dropped the gloves with Lordo.
Yeah. I yeah. Yeah, that did happen. I had a feeling it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I might have known about
Uh,
it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
he's
sure that
done
was
it
the summer
often.
Hendo had come to visit us here in Kincardine. Him and his wife came to
Okay.
visit us in Kincardine, and we had a great weekend. And Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but I mean, his gal was in Cardiff. He wanted to be a Devil, and then the Devils decided that they didn't want him, which he didn't feel that strongly about. And Lorda was still a player coach, so it's like, well, now you got to play me.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I'm gonna beat you up.
So we're gonna settle this now. And that I believe they all moved on after that. Sometimes in hockey, you just got to fight, and then you're better.
Exactly. That's the thing, because with yeah, with the culture over here, there's obviously, we've got hockey guys over here who come to the Devils, but most people know nothing about hockey. And then always they'll be like, so why do they fight? And you just gotta explain it to them.
Well,
And it just
sometimes
makes sense.
there's quite a bit of reasons to fight in a hockey game. It can be because somebody did something to your buddy. It can be that you can't let them take an inch. It can be to show your teammates what you're willing to do. There's a lot of different reasons why it could happen.
Just yeah, stops it from spilling over, doesn't it?
Well,
Stops
and like
stupid things from
once
happening.
the other team's bitch and they know they're tougher than your team, then you generally lose.
Exactly. It's a big, big
And
game
if your
changer.
team's willing to do more than the other team, then you usually win.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
So,
Should do it in football as well, I think.
what's your favorite drill in practice?
I love so I don't know any of the names of the drills, but so we do basically a lap of the ice and then come back and make a beeline for the goal and stick tap when we're ready for the pass and smash it in. And that's yeah,
Smash it in.
uh,
Yeah,
smash it in.
smash it in. I like that. That is how you got to score goals. You got to smash it in there.
Exactly. You can't
Mhm.
just tap it, smash it.
So you got what do you got? Physio or something to do?
Um, so yeah, I have 3 care calls a day just to help out with food or anything I need really.
Mhm.
So yeah, that'll be
So then, can you work?
um I, I could, but at the moment my fatigue really isn't good
Right.
just because obviously
You
everything
got a lot
is
going on, man.
yeah. Especially, and that's what I've noticed as well is that things are mentally draining as well. And obviously more mentally draining because I've got the predisposed like mental health stuff as well. But yeah, just getting up and about is mentally draining as well as physically draining. So I've got to be careful what I do in a day sort of thing. And
So
yeah,
you'd rest up for a bit to get ready for your sled hockey.
yeah, exactly. Do nothing all day and then sled hockey, nothing day after, and then I'm back to it.
I would say I find mental health a strange thing because it
Yeah,
does make you tired. It makes you have less
absolutely.
energy, makes you lay around and not do as much stuff.
Yeah,
And it for me, I mean, it was, a few years ago now. Quite a while ago now, actually, I've been doing better. But then it was also when I originally hurt my knee in Germany. I had never missed a hockey game in 10 years. I didn't miss one
yeah,
game for 10 years. And then I hurt my knee in Germany and I'm out for the entire season, 4 games in, and I'm not a part of the team. I don't go on the road trips. And I had crutches to
takes
get
out of you.
around, but I wouldn't get around. I just laid around and
I
did
know.
nothing and ate and then drank wine and I just laid around because it seemed like too much work to use crutches.
I know
And,
exactly.
you know what I mean? And it's like if I would have stayed mobile, stayed up and at 'em and got around with crutches, I would have been doing stuff and I wasn't. I just laid
But
around and moped and was sad. And then, it was
it's a
difficult.
mental battle, isn't it? Especially with because I've been on crutches before as well, and they're not nice things. Like it's not fun getting around.
But then you see other people, and it's like Rich Bateman after his stroke, and you see the effort and the determination to get better, and he's not laying around, and he's doing whatever it takes to get home to his family, and it's pretty cool to see.
No, definitely.
Hmm. Well, man, it's been quite the story in the shed today. I didn't know what I was
Thank
going
you
to
so much.
hear, but I'm really appreciative you came on and were honest and told it because, I mean, if someone listening, if it helps them, anybody, then God damn it, we did our job today, right?
Exactly. And yeah, I hope that I hope it helps someone and or someone can sort of relate to my story. Well, hopefully not relate too much, but relate to overcoming, some real hardships and things. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
thank you so
agree.
much for having me.
Well, and you've done that, and you've found your happy place on your sled,
Yeah,
and I'm a huge Cardiff Huskies fan now.
there you go. I'll send you over all the details and make sure we get you a jersey over. And we've just launched a merch store, as you can see from my hat there.
That's a sweet hat. Go
Yeah,
Huskies.
we got
Yeah.
exactly.
And if anybody is listening that needs the Andy's Men's Club is a shed guy that came on and they're doing great things to help men's mental health in the UK. And I know they're in Sheffield and I know they're in a lot of places and it's growing. So um I know for like the gentleman on the weekend that wrote to me about it, it's like, well, if you do need help and you need to go somewhere, check out Andy's Men's Club in the UK, right?
Yeah, 100%. Big up Andy's Men's Club.
So I guess thank you for your time today and telling your
Yeah, thank
story.
you so much for having me.
I would say it's inspirational how you've come out of it and
Thank you.
you're happy,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah,
And I'm always here for you if you ever don't feel happy, right?
thank you so much.
And
Means
this
a
has
lot.
been another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Willie and Wally.